What's up, y'all, and welcome back to Becoming Me, Discovering You. I'm Quan, and I'm so thankful you decided to be here with me today because we're going to dive into something that I think many of us struggle with, and that's God's timing versus our timing. This is one of those topics that really hit close to home to me, and I think it will resonate with a lot of you too. So grab your tea, and let's get into today's episode. Okay, y'all, so let's go ahead and jump into the meat and potatoes of today's episode. So I did want to start out by saying to y'all, I don't know about y'all, but I have dreams, goals, and plans that I want to happen in my life because I do want to be a successful person. I do have a timeline that I want this to happen in, but as y'all know, things does not happen on our time or the way that we expect it. So with that, when that started happening to me, not sure about a lot of other people, but for me personally, when that does happen, I become really upset, frustrated. I feel like things just not gonna never happen, get into that real depressed state. But as time goes on, as I'm on this journey, as y'all know from episode 1, I had to take some time off, take a break to reconnect with God. So as I'm reconnecting with God, I'm learning and slowly learning that sometimes what I feel like is a delay is really not a delay. It's exactly what I need at that time, at that moment. Sometimes we need to slow down and really pick up on what we're trying to learn and what God's trying to teach us. Really pick up on that because sometimes he'll stop us and not let things go forward. This is my thought, go forward, because there's something else that we need to learn within this stage of life that we're in, or this moment of life that we're in, that we need to take to the next level, as I would say. So sometimes when things doesn't happen in that 5 year, because everybody tell you make your 5 year 10 year plan, but sometimes those 5 year 10 year plans turn into your 5 years end up being your 10 year plan, and a 10 year plan end up being a 15-20 year plan. You know what I mean? And I feel like when that does happen, it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be at that moment, and we have to really accept that. You have to start learning how to accept that. Start learning how to take the step to allow God to be in control. And that's something that I wanted to talk about as well, is control, because I don't know about a lot of y'all, but me, I like to plan things out. I like to be organized. I like all of that. And when I say plan things out, I mean like every detail of what career you want to do, relationship wise, or where you want to be. But sometimes life don't always follow that way. It ain't that neatly laid out plan like we have it. And my biggest thing is accepting that I don't have all of the control of making those plans possible. I'm not saying I don't have no control. It's just I don't have all of the control. And when things don't go according to plan, it's really easy to feel like you are losing that control, and you become frustrated, anxious, and maybe a little even panicked like I do. I have became really panicked at times when I feel like, oh my God, I'm not going to hit this deadline that I know I need to hit. And in reality, is not even a realistic deadline sometimes that we set for ourselves. And sometimes that's what God's telling us too. Like, okay, you set that to be for about 2 years, but really you're not even there yet. And that's what we need to learn. And I've been starting to learn that I do need to take a step back and just think, what if when I feel like I'm out of control, it's actually opportunities for me to grow, for me to learn. I'm not going to say that it's easy, because trust me, it's not easy at all. I'm slowly trying to change my mind habits. And when I say my mind habits, because I'm the type of person that can get into my mind. I start to overthink things, and that's not good. To be an overthinker and to be overthinker and a control freak is not two things that really match. So those are two things that I'm really trying to learn how to let that go, because I cannot be in control of everything, and I don't need to overthink everything. If I planned about it, and especially if I prayed about it and I said that I'm going to give it to God, it's going to happen when God wants it to happen, because I prayed these prayers a lot. And when I say that to God, say it can be something as simple as, I'm going to give this issue to God, and when I give it to him, I do give it to him for about a week. And then, next week, I'm back at it. I'm back overthinking, and I'm back trying to figure out how to solve the problem, instead of letting God show me that he really got my back. He really gonna do what he promised that he was gonna do for me. And I also realized that sometimes just letting go of the need to control everything is really about letting go of control of everything. It's really that I'm trusting that everything is unfolding the way that it is. And that's the big thing too that I need to really understand, is that, like I told y'all in the first episode, I do question God. I do like to have understanding, but sometimes I go too far with the questioning thing. I do. But I feel like when he does give me that understanding, that's when I need to take the moment to be like, okay, this is what it is. I need to actually trust and believe that this is where I need to be. And while I'm in this moment, what else can I learn from this moment? What else can make me better within this moment to be able to move to the next step? And it takes a lot of waiting to really hear back from God, especially when you like, okay, I just want it to happen quickly. Because keep in mind, we already planned, or me anyways, already planned that I want it to happen within 5 years. It's year 6. So it got to happen within year 6. It got to happen. It just got to happen within that end or the beginning, the middle of year 6. But sometimes you got to learn how to be patient. You got to learn how to wait. And when you are waiting for those answers, that can be the most challenging part of everything. Even letting go the control part can be hard, but it can be easy. But the waiting part, waiting on something, is the most hardest thing ever. It's like waiting on, Christmas coming, and you ready to open your gifts, but you gotta wait on all your other cousins and family members to get there, and half of them gonna be late. So it's the anxiety that it builds up within me, having to wait and to figure out what that answer is. But I'm learning a lot on this process. And what I am learning is waiting isn't just about being patient. It's about preparation. And I think that that's something that I really am holding on a lot to, because I don't have a lot of patience. So instead of thinking like, okay, I just need to be patient, I'm also thinking more so thinking, okay, what do I need to prepare? What preparations do I need to go through to be ready when he say it is that time? When that time does come, what do I need to be focusing on so I can be prepared for that time? And thinking about times in my life where I had to force to wait on something that was important, like getting a new job, starting a relationship, or anything like that. During that waiting time, you really are growing, especially if you accept that you need to wait and accept that you need to do the preparation of it. If you do the proper preparation, a lot of P's there. If you do the proper preparation, you will be growing. You won't just be sitting there like just sitting on your hands. Basically, you growing. So you learning more about yourself. You developing resilience. You gaining a new perspective on how to handle those challenges that's going to be ahead, because that's really something else that I think about when I'm preparing. Is it gotta be a reason that he wants me to wait. So I really need to go back and reevaluate, what did I miss? I had to miss something, because I'm still waiting. If he thought I was ready, I knew I feel like I would be at that next step. But there must be something that I need to do a little bit longer in this stage. So I need to continue to learn. I need to continue to grow, figure out some more stuff about myself before I go to that next step. Because just like they say, more money, more problems. When you get to bigger, when you becoming a better version of yourself, the devil ready to show you or to test to see, are you really that better version? Are you really ready to leave me? Or do you still want to play over here? So he gonna test you. And when you really show him at that level one that, oh, I can bypass that little stuff, I got you, he gonna really test you when you get to that next level. So you gotta be able to prepare and get ready for that shift that's going to happen when you go to the next level. So next time when you do feel like you waiting on something and it's taking a long time, and just like when it's going to happen, try to see at that time, or just try to focus that this is my preparation time. This is the time that I need to grow. You might not see that you're growing at the moment, because trust me, y'all, I question every day. And I'm not going to say I question God. Well, I do, but I'm going to take that back. I do question God every day. And while I'm questioning him, I also answer it back like, I got to be able to trust him. I got to be able to, if I'm telling him that I trust him and I'm giving him that faith that I trust him, I really got to believe that. So at that time, that's again, I'm learning to continue to step back and get out my own way and let him have it. And just realize that I'm evolving during this time of waiting on him to prepare me for that shift. So with that, the perspective of shifting into that moment of waiting, into the moment of, your preparing moment, your waiting moment. When you shifting in that, have you ever just had something not go your way? And when you look back at it and you see like, okay, it didn't go my way, but dang, I'm so glad it didn't. Because look what happened if it would have. So that's where you have to really focus on. And trust me, I've had so many of them experiences, not focus on that, but that's when you just have to really look at it and be like, dang, I'm so glad that didn't happen. So glad that didn't happen to me. And trust me, I've had so many experiences like that I can't even count, cannot count it. But when you in the thick of things, as they say, quote unquote, it's hard to see beyond that immediate desire, what you want to happen right now. It is so hard, and it's so hard to look past the frustration because it did not happen right now. But when we start to shift our perspective, when we start to shift how we look at things, it can make a big difference. I was just talking to my best friend the other day, and I was like, sometimes some stuff does not deserve so much energy, and you have to do stuff a different way. You have to basically look at it a different way. You have to give it a different result, because if you keep giving something the same result, you're gonna get the same answer that you do not want. You did not like the answer the first time, so why you keep doing it that same way? So you got to be able to change that. And that's something that I'm again learning to do, to not be within that same mindset. I'm training my mind to think different. And that's something that has been really hard for me, is to train my mind to focus another kind of way, because I'm the type of person that find myself asking, why isn't this happening right now? But as I am in this process of right now of learning that I gotta trust God, I gotta trust that it's okay, that it's not happening when I want it to happen, I have to start asking, what am I supposed to be learning at this time? I've been asking myself that a lot lately, because especially right now, I feel like I'm real stuck in the moment. And like I said at my first episode, I feel like I am stuck in the moment, but not really stuck, just not moving. And I'm trying to figure out, why am I not moving to the next level? Is it me? Am I being lazy? Is it something that I need to learn? So I've been having those conversations with God for him to give me the enlightenment of what the hell am I supposed to do next? What is the next move? I am still working, on the stuff that I want to become successful. So I'm still working on that. I'm still working on, you know, being a better version of myself, really trying to figure out my God-given purpose. So I'm still working on those things, but I feel like I gotta be missing something because I don't know if it's I want the process to go faster or I want to see a result faster. Again, back on that, my timing versus God's timing. So as y'all can see, I'm still really learning that everything don't happen as I want it to happen, or not even as I want it to happen. But sometimes you have a vision of something and you envision how this is going to go. I think that's something that I need to change as well, because sometimes my vision doesn't always look like his vision. And I'm really learning how to just, I'm not going to say not have a vision, but not hold that vision so highly, like this is how it's supposed to be happening, because in reality I really don't know how it's supposed to look as it's happening, but I'm just making up my own fantasy world. And I really just got to learn how I'm going to just learn how to surrender all of that to him, give him all of those doubts and all those insecurities and impatientness to him. And when you think about surrendering yourself to somebody, you think that you really trying to give up. Like, I'm just giving up, or I ain't gonna be able to do what I love anymore, or this is not for me. This is my thought of when I surrender. I keep saying y'all, I don't know if a lot of y'all feel that way, but for me personally, when I think that I gotta surrender something, you really thinking that you giving up. I'm waving the white flag. But the biggest thing that I am still learning is surrendering to God is not like surrendering to man. When you surrender to God's timing or to God's actions, you're actually showing faith and that you trust him. And that's what I have to keep reminding myself, that if I really got faith and I really trust in God, I gotta really believe that it's gonna work how he says it's gonna work. I gotta believe he's gonna give me what he promised to give me. So I'm learning that I have to surrender that in order to stay focused on what the outcome is supposed to be. I gotta stay focused on making sure that I'm keeping not stay focused on what the outcome gonna be, but stay focused on what I need to do in order to help him. I'm the assistant, because you have to, without work, faith is dead. So it ain't no way that you can just say I got faith and you're not doing your part. So I just got to believe that I'm surrendering the parts that I know I cannot control, and I'm taking control of the parts that I know I can control. Like, when I say that, meaning I want my podcast to be huge, but in order for my podcast to be huge, I got to record, I have to edit, I have to promote it, I have to do all of those manual things, while I put that God's going to put my podcast in front of the people that needs to hear my podcast, if that makes sense. So I know I need to keep doing my work as while he's doing his work. And I just have to have faith that not only my work that I'm doing is gonna be a good outcome, but I know for sure the work that he put in is gonna be an even better outcome. It's gonna be something better it's gonna be bigger than what I even can imagine, because he's working so hard, and because I believe that he's working so hard. So I know I have to continue to give up that control and have to be patient. But I'm learning that, like slowly learning that. And trust me, it's something that I constantly have to remind myself about every single day. And I also have to remember that just because I'm surrendering myself to, we're surrendering these issues and myself to him, it doesn't mean that I got to stop pursuing what I love. It doesn't mean that I got to stop putting in the work. Like I said, without work, faith is dead. So I know I still have to keep doing that. But the difference is that I know I have to keep reminding myself about is I have to find balance in between the part of trusting that God is doing what he promised to do and that I'm doing what I need to do in order to receive what he has for me, if that makes sense. But that is basically how it is with, that's basically what I'm learning about God's timing versus my timing. Is my biggest thing is, well, my biggest two things I would say would be surrendering myself to God, giving it over to him, and realizing that I keep telling him, like, I trust you. When I pray, I always say I trust you, I believe you. Thank you for the blessings and you know, that bit. But because I'm so want to be in control, I give him the prayer, and then it's like I give him the prayer, and then I go back up there and be like, oops, wait, I forgot. I'm gonna take it back, and I'm gonna worry about it. I don't want you to worry about it. It's too big for you to worry about. That's really how I do it. It's like, I don't know, it don't make sense when I'm saying it out loud, because it's like, that's crazy as hell, Quan. Why would you give? That's like saying I'm gonna give my car to the mechanic to change the oil, but then I'm going to keep thinking about my oil change, and I'm just going to go out there and get the car and change the oil myself, knowing damn well I'm not changing no oil. So that's basically what I do when I pray. Like, I give my problems to God. No issues too big for him. So I give my issues to him, and then maybe about a week later, I go back and I take it back. And when I say I take it back, I go back and I'm taking it back because I'm still thinking about it. I'm still worrying about it. I'm still trying to figure out how to solve the problem, when I'm doing my work, but I'm so busy doing my work and trying to do his work. I'm not really focusing on doing the part that I need to do at 100%, because I'm trying to do both our parts, and there's no way in hell I can do his part. So I'm at that point of learning of how to give that control away. I think that's my biggest part about understanding God's timing versus our timing, is being able to lose control, like, and not lose control in a bad way, but lose control, like, give him what he needs to have, Quan, and you take what you need. Like, that's all you need to do. That's all you got to do. But anyways, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's episode. But before I do wrap up this episode, I do want to leave y'all with something to think about. I would like for you to take a moment to reflect on an area in your life. It don't matter what it is. It could be something that you're holding on tightly to your own timing, like it is going to happen in 5 years. I want you to think about that issue, and maybe something you've been striving for. So with that, I want you to ask yourself, what would change if I let go of my timeline and trust that things are unfolding exactly as they're supposed to? So I want y'all to think about that. Let me know what y'all think. I'm going to have a poll down below so y'all can know. Y'all can leave me y'all thoughts and y'all thoughts on that. And also I want to know, I want y'all to think about how might your mindset change if you take that approach. So if you take the approach of trusting that everything is unfolding exactly how it's supposed to be, I want y'all to let me know what you think would change in your situation if you just gave it all to God. Now, I'm not saying any of this I talked about, any of the things that I'm learning still, because that I'm learning is easy, because it's not. It's really not. But what I am saying, the more that we practice letting go of that control, the more that we open ourselves to the incredible possibility that God has to offer, we'll never know. We'll be able to find out what he can do for us. But if we keep holding on to that control, we'll never know the opportunities that he truly has for us. So with that, I thank y'all so much for listening. Thank you so much for joining me today on Becoming Me, Discovering You. I hope this conversation about God's timing versus our timing has given you something to reflect on as you continue on your journey of self-discovery. Remember, you're exactly where you need to be, even if it doesn't always make sense. Just trust the process, trust the timing, and keep moving forward with faith and confidence. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts, so reach out, share your experiences, and let's keep this conversation going. Until next time, keep discovering, keep growing, and keep becoming the best version of you. Have a great day.